I had a great trip at Tim's Ford Lake the other morning. And here's the scenario. It's end of March. Uh, the fish are schooled up. They're chasing bait, so it's really, really nice. All right, here's the setup on the boat. I'm trolling basically 6 A-Rigs, and they're spread out at different distances. The A-Rigs are a StriperMemories version of an A-Rig that I created to handle larger fish because the ones designed for bass don't work too well on stripers when you get the big ones. Okay. Then I had pole number 7 was just a jig thrown out the back, just off in the distance. Okay, so here's what happens. We go across the school and they start hitting. Now, I end up with fish on every pole, but I got this great big fish on. And absolutely, I was convinced that I had the lake record. Positively, 100% convinced. Let's watch this footage. Okay, here's a school. There's one. There he is. I told you, there's going to be more than that too. Okay, our first fish actually comes on one of the forward rods. Now the front 2 rods actually have tadpoles, and the tadpoles take them down quicker, so those get to the fish first. Then the ones in the back, there's actually 4 in the back, and those are more free-lined out. All right, now as you'll notice, so as the boat moves forward, we're getting over that school, and all of a sudden you'll see them start hitting. And it gets really exciting, it gets really fast, and it's real easy to get these things tangled up, as you'll see later. Just keep fighting them. All right, here's the first. I'm getting ready to land the first one. It's a pretty nice striper. So that's a good sign. So I'm thinking, well, these fish are pretty decent size. And that's a pretty good fish. Now keep watching. If you watch over on the starboard side of the boat, the rod in the back, if you watch it, you're going to see a huge fish hit it. In fact, you'll be able to actually hear the drag releasing line. When I heard that drag, I knew this thing was a big fish. There's another one. Oh, that's a good fish. Well, it occurred to me that I wasn't making much headway. The fish is big. Okay, the boat's moving 1.2 miles an hour, and I really can't stop that at this point because there's all those other rods out. So what I really had to do is kind of figure out what to do here. The fish was swimming behind the boat one side, but I just couldn't really catch up on it. So I thought, well, I'm going to end up with a huge tangle mess if I don't do something different. So I thought, well, probably the smart thing to do is to actually try to land all the other fish so that all I have left is the big fish. Then I'll chase it with a trolling motor. The reel has plenty of line on it, so I'm not worried about that. I felt like as long as I could keep the boat moving, I wouldn't have any problem with the fish coming unhooked. And I was using well, my StriperMemories jigs, so those hooks don't bend very easily, so I wasn't worried at all about that. And of course, I always had all this clutter. I was just getting ready to switch over to umbrella rigs, so I had the rods ready. So of course they were in the way, so I had to get that out of the way. And of course those rods were getting tangled, but that's not unusual when you fish that many rods. The key was to get all this stuff cleared out so that I wouldn't have to worry about everything getting tangled and losing the big fish. So that was my strategy. So it took a while to get these fish untangled and landed, but I finally got there. Okay, now I've got the other rods cleared. Now I do have one rod at the back, but it's cast way back, and there's quite a lot of line on it, and it's not close to the fish. So I thought, well, I'll just leave that alone. I'll deal with it later. So if you notice the boat's turning, I'm remotely controlling the trolling motor, and we're actually moving towards the fish now. All right, I see him. He's a big one. He might be foul hooked, that's why I'm having so much trouble with him. Oh, hallelujah. Well, I finally got the fish in the boat, and sure enough, it's foul hooked. There's actually a hook in its mouth, and then there's a hook down towards its tail. So I was dragging that fish through the water sideways, but it was a great fight, and I had a great time. Got the boga grip out, took a weight, got 18 pounds, and then I used a Striper Mafia a tournament stick, and I got a good measurement on the fish and a photo. And here's a close-up. It looks like the fish was 33 inches long. So it makes a really, really nice fish. But you know, we've still got another fish on, and it's on a fairly light rod. There's lots of line out. So now let's see if we can get that fish landed. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's really a unique experience. And as I said earlier, absolutely, I was convinced that I had the lake record on. And it turned out that it was a really nice fish, but it was kind of foul hooked. So that's why it took so long to get in. You know, this is a great time of year to do this kind of fishing. We do a limited number of guide trips. You can contact Striper Memories at 615-962-0287 if you want to get in on some of this great excitement. Thank you for watching.